What's up YouTube, this is URC Shadow and welcome to a strategy guide for Martin's level 81 mission, Trash Talk. Now this mission is the highest level mission of the game at the moment, and because of that it gives the highest payout in all the different time brackets. However, the only downside to this mission is that it takes a little bit longer than the rest, so you can't complete it within the magic 4 minutes. That said, it's still a pretty good mission, and the payouts you can achieve are pretty good, so let's start by taking a closer look at the payout table. So as you can see, if you complete it between 4 minutes and 5 minutes 59 seconds, you'll get $11,430, all the way through up to 15 minutes plus, which will net you $22,860. And you can see below the dollar per minute figure based on those payouts, and there's going to be two different strategies we're going to look at in this video. So to do this mission on solo, you're going to have to be at least level 81, which means by now you should have probably bought the buzzard. But if you haven't got a buzzard, we'll start by taking a look at the basic strategy, which you'll be lucky to complete within 12 minutes, and most likely looking to complete within 15 minutes. And if we could look at the payout per minute graph, the time covered in red is completely unachievable with either of the strategies, but the area also covered in blue won't be achievable unless you've got the buzzard. So based on that, using the buzzard strategy, you're going to want to try and aim for this point here, which is complete just over 6 minutes. And on foot, you want to really try and aim for the 12 minutes, otherwise you're going to have to resort to the 15 minutes. So let's look at the overview for this mission. So this mission is going to be taking place in Los Santos, and this mission has a forced start, so you're going to have to start at Martin's house. And basically the mission is going to require us to find and destroy 4 trash masters, which are garbage trucks, in and around Los Santos. As I mentioned, there's 2 different ways of doing this. You can go to the helipad and pick up a buzzard, or you're going to have to drive around manually destroying them. Luckily, there is a weak point on these vehicles, which we'll go through in a sec, which will make your life a hell of a lot easier. Once you've done that, you're then going to go to this area over here, where you're going to have to destroy a whole load more trash masters, as well as deal with a whole load of enemies. Once you've cleared them out, there'll be one last guy to kill, who'll be trying to flee on foot. So, starting with the basic on foot strategy, as you can see we're starting at Martin's house, and luckily the car's already here. A lot of the time you have to call it yourself. So you're going to get in your car, and set your GPS to the first objective, which will be called a garbage truck. So once you've followed your GPS into the city, and you may have to refresh the GPS a few times as the trucks are moving, you should come across the first one. Now hopefully it's about to get stuck at some traffic lights. So I mentioned before there's a weak point on these garbage trucks, so let's take a closer look at that. You'll notice on the left hand side there's a fuel tank, and basically the sweet spot is in between the 2 black strips in the middle of the fuel tank. Here it is with a heavy sniper rifle. You can see it's 2 shots to destroy it, but with a normal weapon it's only a couple of extra bullets. So ideally you want to wait for these trucks to get stuck at traffic lights. The minute you start aiming directly at them, they'll start trying to make a getaway. So you want to aim down your sights away from the truck, and then very quickly zero in on the fuel tank, fire your shots, and as long as you are quick, the truck should blow up without any problem. Now sometimes you're going to come across trucks that won't be at traffic lights, so you can either follow them until they do, or you can try a drive-by. Drive-bys are a lot more difficult, but they are possible with a little bit of practice. As you destroy each truck, you want to set your GPS to the next one. And again, bearing in mind, they do move, so by the time you get there, they may actually be in a different place, so just keep refreshing. So as I mentioned, there are 4 trucks in total, and so here's an example of one that wasn't stuck at traffic lights. Tried to shoot it as it went past, but unfortunately got away, and now I'm going to have to resort to chasing it down because it's still going to try and make a getaway. If you are going to try and do a drive-by, make sure you're not too close when they explode, because as you can see in this example, your car will actually catch fire and you'll be left with not much alternative but to ditch the car, call up Moore's Mutual Insurance and pay the hefty fine. If you happen to be using a supercar, you'll find that fine makes a huge dent in the mission payout. And this is yet another reason why you definitely need a buzzard, not just for this mission, but for a lot of other missions as well. So anyway, once you've destroyed the 4 garbage trucks, you're going to want to head over to the location marked on your map in yellow. And you're going to want to approach it coming in from the south side. You don't have to take the route I'm taking here, as long as you get to the destination right around here. And basically you're going to want to park in between that pipe I just drove over and this pylon here. They will start shooting you as soon as you get near, so just take cover behind the car. Give it a few little shots, you don't even have to hit anything, and you'll notice on the minimap everyone's starting to flood towards you, including some cars coming in from the side. Don't worry about the cars coming in from the side. They're all going to attack you from the front. So similar to what you do in survival matches, wait for everyone to get a bit close and then start using the target cycling to take down multiples of enemies at a time. Using this method, it's far easier than trying to go into the compound and getting ambushed or shot from behind or the side. Once you've thinned out the enemies and there doesn't appear to be much more activity coming out of the compound, you can drive around to the right hand side, leave your car there, hop over this fence and go into the warehouse. In the warehouse you'll find 2 more garbage trucks you need to destroy. But before that, you'll probably find a guy outside the other end of the warehouse behind a crate which you're going to need to take him down.
Come on! Fucking bum! We got a man down!
Once you have taken him down, again use the same weak spot on these trash masters, making sure you're not too close. And here you're basically saving yourself loads of money that you would have spent on grenades and stickies. Once you've done that, you want to come out their warehouse the way you came in, mop up any guys that are hanging around by these SUVs, and then you might as well jump in one of these SUVs and head to the other end of the compound. Now again, there may be 1 or 2 more stragglers which you'll have to take out, and seeing as you're in a car, you might as well use it. And then over here you'll find 1 more trash master, and then 2 more over here. Once you've taken them down, the game's now going to show you on the map anyone that's left in the base. So you can see there's 2 guys behind me, so I'm going to jump back in this SUV, head back through the base, and then I'll take them out. Once I've done that, you notice on the map we've now got a new target, and this is the crew boss making his getaway on foot. So you're going to drive back through the compound, straight over this cliff, and you should see him just in the distance in front of you. Again, it's completely up to you how to take him out. You could try and run him over, you could drive by him, or you could get out and kill him execution style. It's really up to you. However, don't forget this is a level 81 mission, so the NPCs aren't messing around. They can hit you pretty hard, and they have an incredibly long range. So that's the much harder, much longer basic strategy. However, if you've put the money in and you spent the 1.75 million price tag for a buzzard attack helicopter, which by the way is worth every penny, then you're probably going to want to do it this way. Again, starting at Martin's house, you're going to request your personal vehicle if it's not there, and whilst you're waiting, you also want to call up Pegasus and order your buzzard attack helicopter. Now the closest place it's going to spawn when you're at Martin's house is going to be right by the seafront in the helipad area.
Hello, you're through to Pegasus Lifestyle Management. How can I help? Thank you, sir. Your spectacular
gonna jump in your car.
aircraft is now ready.
Turn on the GPS if you don't know the way to the helipad, and then go and retrieve your buzzard. Once you've arrived at the helipad, get in the buzzard, have a quick look at the map while the engines are firing up, just to make sure you know where all the trash masters are. Cycle through the weapons with the square button until you get to homing missiles, and then start heading towards your targets. Now this is nice and easy. You just lock on, fire a few missiles, and move on to the next target. Obviously the locations of these garbage trucks are going to differ every single time. They seem to drive random patterns around the city, and if you take too long or you're really unlucky, you'll find they start driving out the city, and you're going to have got a bit of a trek to go and track them down again. Again, once you've taken out all 4, you're then going to get directed towards the main compound. And again, in a buzzard, you're going to find this a hell of a lot easier, as you can literally just rock up and pump missiles into anything that even moves. Try not to get too low, or else you will start taking gunfire. And again, as I mentioned, these guys can hit hard with a very long range. Let your homing missiles do the work for you. Every now and then just keep going around, changing your perspective of everything so that if anyone's hiding behind any cover, you'll eventually lock onto them. And as long as you're half confident with the buzzard, there shouldn't be a problem whatsoever. And you may find you've got one garbage truck at the end that you can't destroy, so you're going to have to lower yourself down at this end of the compound, get a clean shot inside the warehouse. Once you've destroyed that last garbage truck, again the crime boss is going to spawn in the distance, and you won't even have to go far. Just lock onto him, let off a few missiles, and he should die pretty quickly. And with that, the mission's passed. So I hope you guys found that useful. If you did, please feel free to support the channel with your likes and subscriptions. And as usual, feel free to check out my other strategy guide videos, as well as my series of tips and tricks videos. Cheers guys, thanks for watching.